Well, hello Rob, and welcome to my humble house.
Very nice too.
I think if I was living on my own, this room would probably be set up permanently for doing things like this.
You would be living on your own.
Yes, building sets and so on. Right, we've had a chat before about music and films and so on, and we've heard quite a bit of your story, but there's a lot more to tell. So, where would you like to go back to pick up the story again?
I think rounded off to about 1980 really. I'd been living up here again for about 4 years and working at Barnsondale camp for Manpower Services, teaching young people who looked like they were never ever going to get a proper job, to teach them to do basic skills like gardening, painting and decorating, so at least they could keep themselves busy. And I was also doing a lot of work for Radio City at the time, doing t-shirts and advertising material for them. Highly involved with Phil Easton at the time, choosing music to go on his show. So music was still a big, massive part of my life then. And by 1983, I decided to go self-employed as a sign writer. Had a place in Hamilton Square, and work came in a lot quicker than I thought it would do, to be honest. Doing lots of poster writing for clubs and pubs and things. And one of the particular pubs was a pub called Turleys. It was in Prenton, and they had a room upstairs, and I was doing posters for a guy called Ron Howarth, his name was, and he was running like a folk club up there. And it was okay, but it was too folky and too samey for me, so we got together, became friends quite quick really. But and all the bands I'd been doing backdrops and things for, I started recommending them, and they loved the place and used to come and play. So I think we'll show some clips from some of the bands that played and musicians upstairs in Turleys, we called it.
Okay.
temperature's rising, fever is high. I can't see no future, I can't see no sky. This cold turkey has got me. It's got me on the run.
Floodlights, big cities. There we go.
Yeah, it's quite amazing that I mean the area is dominated by Liverpool. Everyone thinks Liverpool, but I mean the Valkyries came from Birkenhead, and lots of other things, people as well, I'm sure. And the ones we've just been looking at, they're all Wirral people.
Yeah, most of them were. Yeah. Yeah.
I think Wirral's always had a big folk scene.
Still has. I mean, nearly every night, one pub somewhere's got some kind of form of folk on.
I expect it's gone all electric now, is it?
Yeah. I mean, that's what happened to that night, to be honest. We'd gone from acoustic, which worked okay, to I mean, some of the bands we had were so loud, it was just ridiculous. And of course there was a pub underneath and they started complaining, so basically that was the end of that. Plus Ron Howarth died as well, which didn't help very much. Yeah, in fact we had a Christmas show on. This is how quick you learn things, like you were talking about before when you do something live. I had a Christmas show and I tried to have 3 bands on, but they all brought their own gear, and trying to sort that out in one night was just ridiculous, so we never did that again.
Yeah. So how long did that last?
I think it rolled on for about 2.5 years, and then the next one was the Black Horse in West Kirby. It'd been run as a folk club by a guy called Tom Topping for absolutely years, but the management changed and everything changed, and no one had done a folk club there for about 6 months, a year. So we approached the new management and they were pleased as punch. So
That's a Black Horse in West Kirby.
Yeah, in Black Horse Hill,
Yeah.
It's had about 6 names since we did it.
Yeah, I've been to folk there many years ago. I'm trying to think of the guy, some big name came along and turned up late, only did about 3 songs, took his money and he was rubbish.
So what we decided to do, a guy called Paul Wrightson, who's a fantastic musician, we decided to charge on the door, which folk clubs didn't really do. They had draw tickets and stuff. We decided to charge on the door and then split the money at the end of the night with everyone we had on. So that was a bit of a change for the folk scene. We put out posters asking to send us tapes so we could pick who was going to appear. And I think one of the funniest ones we got was a group called the Chimney Sweeps. And they sent me this letter and they said they were involved with different formats. They loved the Rolling Stones and really old bands, old blues people. So anyway, they sent me a tape and it was okay. So I phoned the main lad up from the band, and his mum answered the phone and said he's on his paper round at the moment. so that was the end of that, because we were only allowed people over 18 anyway. So I'm sure those lads must have gone on to bigger things.
What I found that the folk scene, that when they got, the names got known and they were starting to earn some money professionally, they'd come along to do a performance and they spent half the time telling jokes and stories, not getting on with the singing.
Yeah.
And then that used to annoy me.
Right. I mean, that approach became Billy Connolly, the guy from Birmingham. They were all doing that kind of stuff where they'd tell as many jokes. In fact, I'm not sure if they weren't stand-up comedians first, then musicians after. Yeah, that became quite a thing. But we had so many different. I mean, in one night we had a Jewish trio, which kind of music I'd never really listened to before. But Paul had booked them. They were so different. We had the Morris Men on, and they were doing their dancing. But they didn't realise that, again, there was a pub underneath, and when they were banging their sticks on the floor, all the plaster was falling down into people's drinks in the pub, So that lasted about 3 years, and I think I'll show you some clips from that as well, because it's worth seeing.
Yeah.
So I'll finish
The
off.
Horton Weavers, I remember.
There's a little Jethro talking. I really don't mind if you sip this wine. Our words shoes you want the heel, and your suntan does rapidly heal, and your wise man don't know how it feels to be fake as a brick. Every day there's someone asking, what is there to do? Should I laugh or criticize? Did all the same to you? I went your way 10 years ago, and I've got nothing to say. I went your way 10 years ago, and I've got nothing to say. You would stand
We're two-thirds of a band called Solid. I'm Steve, this is Pete. And this this song is it was inspired by the need to stop doing things that you know are taking over your life. Predominantly smoking. I haven't sussed it yet, but this is what I wrote about it, to try and do something about it, and maybe one day I will. Here we go. Go on. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what this is gonna do to you. Give it up, you've got to give it up. Just look at what you're gonna put yourself through. Give it up, you've got to give it up now. I believe in you. I know that you can do anything you want to. I'd do anything to put a smile on your face. Don't get down, we can turn this thing around. Just say the word and you get out of this place. I don't care, I'll take you anywhere. I believe in you. I know that you can do anything you want to. I get a hit.
Magic in the way she moves, lightning in her touch. I could drink her till she's dry, never have enough. I could ride a wild ponies tonight until dawn. When the sun came up, I'd still be holding on. 'Cause I got two arms open wide. She's got wings on open sky. No one's baby, once she's lost and fly.
So it sounds and looks like you had good things going. So what else did you can you tell me about these great nights?
Well, I got a letter from a guy called Gary Hall, who had seen years before with a band, and they were stunning. They were a proper sort of Americana band. And he sent me some records, and they're very country and western more than Americana. So I said, well, really, we're trying to get away from that. He said, oh, don't worry about it. I'll do whatever you want on the night. So anyway, we got arranged a proper night, did all the posters, and I met him in the car park of the pub. And he stepped straight over to me and he goes, are we near the ocean here? I'm thinking you're only from Preston. Anyway, he got up and he did his old country and western, old spot and country and western music.
Which you didn't ask him to do.
Oh,
Well, there's a place for everything, isn't there?
yeah. But that lasted about 2 years, 3 years, and then Paul Wrightson sold his house and moved down to Ludlow. So again, that was the end of that, because Paul was the main compere and, as I say, a stunning musician. Especially when it comes to Jethro Tull, he could do any Jethro Tull stuff you want.
So it's very annoying when people move away.
Yeah.
Things die, you know.
Yeah.
So,
So
what,
I used to film every single night
Yeah.
that we did there, so I've got lots of stuff from that, you know.
so this is where we're getting all these clips from.
Yeah.
So what were you filming on? What?
I went through from a full-size VHS shoulder camera and possibly just going into digital, but it would have been on
Mini DV?
mini DV, so the quality is different.
Yeah.
But we had our own lights and a backdrop and everything, so it really looked the part. We got the idea from Grey Whistle Test. If ever you see anything that was shot at Grey Whistle Test Studio, you know straight away because of the logo in the background. So we decided to have our own, which was called Roots, Folk and Roots Music.
So that was a shame. So something happened next that made things better.
Yeah, one of the musicians I'd met at Turleys, a guy called Dennis Candlish, who was a specialist in fingerstyle blues, acoustic blues music really. And he said he'd found out there was a room going in the Saddle Club in Prenton. Did I fancy starting that up? Doing posters, getting around the
Saddle Club has something to do with horses or just a name?
Sorry?
Nothing to do with horses.
Saddled, black horse, could be. A bit stuck there. But we decided this one was going to be purely acoustic blues because Dennis knew the whole thing. Anyway, we put out adverts and we didn't get as many people as that. A lot of purists. And we managed to get a guy from London called Dave Peabody, who was a specialist in acoustic blues. He was a historian of blues music and ran a magazine called British Folk Magazine, Folk and Blues Magazine. And he was a brilliant musician, photographer as well. And in fact, sometimes you still see his pictures on the back of album sleeves. Yeah, Dave Peabody, he gave us a good night as well. He probably played for about 2.5 hours. And there was only about 20 people there, you know. So he was put up on the night by Dennis Candlish. We also had Joe Topping, who came second in The Voice. He was really just straight from school in those days, but he specialised in slide guitar, and he loved Robert Johnson music. So I think we'll show some film from those nights.
Yeah,
So it's quite a mix really of people.
This is what people want to see. They don't want to see us talking on camera. They want to see some performances.
ain't going down this big road by myself. If I can't go with you, child, can't go else. Now I need you to like you do. Now I need you to like you.
Once I lived the life of a millionaire. I had plenty money and I didn't have a care. Took all my friends out for a mighty fine time. We lived on high-priced liquor, champagne and wine. Then I started to lose my dough. My friends all left me, didn't have a place to go. 'Cause it's the truth, without a doubt. Nobody loves you when you're down and out. No way. Nobody loves you when you're down and out. No, nobody loves you when you're down and out. In my pocket, not one penny. So as for friends, well, I don't have any. If I ever get my two hands on a dollar again, I'm gonna squeeze it till the eagle grins. For it's the truth, without a doubt. Nobody loves you when you're down and out.
Sometimes I play guitar, sometimes I play the fool. I wonder where you are and I'm blue without your sweetheart. Blue without your sweetheart. My life's a drag, playing the sweetheart. Some say take it easy, some say play it cool. I still think about you all night like a fool, and I'm blue without your sweet. Blue without your sweetheart. Life's a drive, playing my sweetheart right. So they know I've got a sweet little angel. I love the way she spread her wings. I've got a sweet little angel. I love the way she spread her wings. The way she spread her wings around me, I get joy in everything. That future land you had. Have you seen that future land you had? Well, tell me, have you seen that future land you had? I've been hearing his name all over the land. me wild. You gotta stop doing what you do to me, mama. I mean just what I say. When you think you're the best looking girl in town, let your love go way round and round. Gotta stop doing what you do to me, mama. Ain't gonna run me wild. Gotta stop doing what you do to me, mama. Ain't gonna run me wild. Gotta stop doing what you do to me, mama. I mean just what I say. She got great long legs, pretty curly feet. Somewhere about it was sweet, sweet, sweet. Gotta stop doing what you do to me, mama. Ain't gonna run me wild. Get out there, boy.
It's one of them must be mine. Tell me, how long must I wait? Can I get you now, or should I hesitate? Ashes to ashes and the dust to dust. Show me a woman a man can trust. Tell me, how long must I wait? Can I get you now, or should I hesitate? If the river was whiskey and I was a duck, I'd swim to the bottom, babe, I wouldn't give up. Tell me, how long must I wait? Can I get you now, or should I hesitate?
Yeah, it's really nice stuff. You must have been very pleased with the how it went and the outcome and so on.
Yeah, because as I say, blues music is not everyone's taste. We didn't have many women there, let's put it that way. Dennis became quite ill and in fact died a few years later, which was a real shame. He was missed in most of the folk clubs, Dennis, although he was shy, which was another problem when you were trying to get a night out on the go. But people saw through how determined he was and how he could play, so eventually it actually made him quite, forward, and he didn't mind playing so much then. Yeah, but as you say, it was short-lived, unfortunately.
So you moved somewhere else?
Yeah, the next move was down to the Dibbensdale Inn in Bromborough, where it was open more again acoustic, but more not just blues, but back to roots and folk music and Americana, which had really caught on by then in this country. We had a group over from Leicester. They were the Bottle Road Blues. They were a duo. They were really good. Considering we didn't pay them, they'd come all the way from Leicester. So.
Well, some people are like that. They just want to perform and do their thing.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, it's like, you know, I'd love to make more music videos. And I'm not asking for I don't want any money. I just want to do it because I like doing it.
Yeah, I don't think I've got any footage from, because I wasn't that involved. I was getting a bit fed up by then. So I'm afraid I've got other footage from Alexander's in Chester, which might be a good one to finish.
Yeah, it's quite a small venue, isn't it?
Alexander's, yeah. It's nice, but as you say, it's small. But they're clever again. They have a backdrop that if anyone filmed there or played there, they'd never forget the place because there it was in big lights, Alexander's. I filmed a band called Magna Carta there, and also Barbara Thompson, Paraphernalia, with a fabulous violinist who just won Jazz Violinist of the Year called Steve Thompson, and that is...
Have you got some footage of that?
I've got footage of that,
yeah.
So I think we'll look at that.
Yeah.
It's the first time I'd seen saxophone and violin actually work, because it only needs to go slightly out and it sounds dreadful, but they sort of picked it up.
Yeah, I mean, musical people, really musical people, I just, it's like beyond my understanding, you know, they're so good, people, you know, with music. It's just...
they just make it work, you
yeah.
know. They weren't, although the surnames were the same, they weren't related in any way. And again, Barbara's died, and her husband, John Heisman, who was the drummer at that night. Yeah, it was a good night though.
So we're going to finish up with some of those amazing bits of film. And then after that DVD's finished, we will see your contribution or your interpretation of Movie to Music to Albatross.
Yeah.
So this is quite I don't think Swan's ever done anything like this before.
No, it's
set a challenge
as well.
and then not actually look at what the other person's done until the night.
And to make a film during the winter's not the most impressive thing to do either. So.
Oh well, I've cheated. I've not didn't film anything new for it. I just went back into my archives.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing yours. I know
so you went out with your camera to...
Yeah.
Excellent. Right. Okay, well thanks very much
Thanks,
indeed.
James.